Welcome back, everybody. This is Mike with Door and Lock Tips. I'm going to be talking about the standard cam lock today. And is it really a good idea to repin these locks? I see a lot of scuttlebutt on the YouTube channels about, buying pinning kits to repin these things. I buy them by the boxfuls, okay? They're going to either be keyed alike or keyed different. This brand right here is CompX. I highly recommend you buy Compex. I mean, they're the best in the business for a little teeny cam lock. So you're seeing this everywhere in hospitals, institutions, and I take them out and I put electronic locks in place. In the event you have to rekey something in the field, do you really want to pull out your repinning kit, wafer kit? Or do you just want to put in a brand new one? Because, you're going to have to cut keys and you're going to have machines available. I have a ITL in the shop here that can code cut keys, which is nice. But these wafer locks are so cheap, guys. Do you really want to pin them in the field? I'm going to show you how it's done. And I'm going to show you how I cut these keys on a machine. But is it really a good idea? Or should you just buy them by the box? The locks are already inexpensive. So you buy them from a locksmith supply. Buy CompX, great brand, national CompX, they own the whole world. And buy the pinning kit that goes along with your little cam locks. And I'll show you why. But what about this little beauty? So this thing, you'd think it's just a regular cam lock. You'd think, oh boy, it's no big deal. I can use a standard knockoff crazy ESP kit. Now let me tell you what happens with that. Take the number 1 wafer, okay, which is right here. I've seen guys say, oh, this is so simple. You just buy a universal kit, right, and everything will work great. So that's what I did. I bought a universal kit. And let me tell you the difference between that and a regular, see the CompX brand? So here's the measurements on the CompX. I've already measured them for the depths of the key cuts. And that's very important to have those depths, guys. So take a real close look. So number 1 is 250 thousandths. They're stepped by 25 thousandths, 225 thousandths, and then 200 thousandths and 175 thousandths for number 4. Here's what we're going to do. The cylinder has a little slot in it right here, and it allows you to slide these little wafers in, right? Now, when you put it down, you'd think it'd go right in, right? This is the knockoff brand, right? I'm just putting one in one of the slots here. You'd think it'd go down in because that's what it has to do. It has to go down through there and just slide, but it won't go down. So what's wrong with it? So let's check the difference between them. Well, first off, wafers, they have double zeros. See right there, double zeros? So that matches right here. So at least you know what's in each slot. But you don't know anything on the universal thing. And they look alike. I mean, it seems like they should work. Kind of look alike. But there is a difference. Okay, so I'm going to take a veneer caliper and we'll just take a look. Because it's that technical, believe it or not. And they go, oh no, there's so much slop on them. Well, I guess what? There isn't that much. All right, this one is 177 thousandths wide. That's the slot that it has to slide down through there. And this one is 190. It won't go in there because it's too wide. So let's put this fancy little baby back in the number 1 slot, and let's just see if number 1 from CompX actually goes in. And the verdict let's put a little spring in there first. Oh, by the way, I got to show you something. Okay, here's all their springs on the universal kit. I want to show you the difference here. You'd think everything was cool, man. You buy this kit and you think, oh, I'm rocking. I can do any little cam lock in the world. Look at this spring. It's really big. And should it fit in here? Well, it should. We have a little chamber for it to slide in. We'll just try to put it in this one. It won't go in. Look at that. I can't get it to go down. Nope. Now let's get a spring from this spring kit. And it goes right in. So there's definitely a difference. So this spring is too big. The universal kit does not work. It may work on the cheap ones from Home Depot and Lowe's. I don't know. I don't buy those. So I can't say. So we'll just set this aside and say that's a failure. And let's just go ahead and... Are you getting the picture? Do you really want to pin these things? I don't think so, guys. So let's get our little normal disc tumbler CompX brand over here. And we know which is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the key for this is right here. And there's no numbers on this key. I mean, it says C390A, but that doesn't mean anything to you and I. It's just on there. I guess the factory uses that for something. So now, here's how the key goes in. So you always load upside down, basically. This particular key, so the first cut is 200, so that's a number 3. And then the second cut is going to be 248. So that's number 1, 250. Number 1. All right, now this next one is a 224. So that's right there, number 2. The next one, see that they're both number 1s. Now, if you notice that little arm that is over the spring, let's get it so you can see it. See the spring underneath there? So this little thing has to be pushed down. And you can take it like a pair of pliers. And it should pop just like that. Yeah, and you don't want to really load your springs in ahead. You're just going to throw them all over. All right, so now we'll get another spring. That's why they give you 10,000 springs. All right, the next cut is going to be number 1 pin right here. So number 1 right there. Got the spring loaded in. Hear that little click? All right, now the next one is a number 2. Right there, number 2. Number 2. So right here's the number 2. Load it with a spring. There we go. Click it in place. Last 2 are 1s. Okay, the springs are in. So we got a 1 and a 1. And a 1. Yeah, little click on all of them. See how they're retained in there. They don't fall out. Now let's see if the key works. It works perfect. So let's see if it turns inside here. Oh yeah, turns, doesn't turn. All right, and then the cool thing on these little cam locks is you just put the screw in the back. See the nut here? And you put a little screw. I always put Loctite on those. Of course, we yank these things in the hospital. So there we have it. It works. So what do you think? You think if you've stayed to the end, I'm gonna be honest with you, you don't want to pin up these things. For $5, I've spent an hour. I actually practiced all day with this. When folks tell you that cam locks are not precise, they're very precise. Keys are cut great. Buy name brand. Well guys, hopefully this video was helpful. Shows you a few little things you don't want to do. You know, you don't want to buy this knockoff brand multi-purpose ESP pinning kit. By the way, if I go to the box stores, it's more expensive than if I buy from, let's say, Annixter. You're not saving yourself any money by doing that. You're just getting yourself in trouble because who knows the key? You know, who knows the key? It may not be a key that anybody even has. It may be specific just to that, you know, that little cam lock. So could you duplicate it? I don't know. I stick with name brand stuff because I know that I can get the keys that I need if I need to make a pile of keys. You know, sometimes they want, you know, a pile of keys for these cam locks. I try to steer them away and put, you know, electronic cabinet locks in place because you can change the numbers within seconds for the folks instead of cutting keys and having expensive key machines in your truck or duplicators. I rarely use a duplicator. I use code cutting machines. Code cutting machine, only way to fly. But even with inexpensive cam locks, at least you got it cut, you know, right on the money. And I see a lot of guys on the internet say, oh, you know, these tolerances are all over. Well, I guess if you buy, you know, knockoff brand stuff, they're all over. But pretty much, you know, a key from CompX, if I put my little veneer calipers to it, it's right on the money. So I guess I'm not in that same world of buying knockoff things. I highly suggest, you know, if you want a tip for the day, don't buy knockoff. Knockoff is the same price as the real thing. Can't get keys for them. These cam locks are inexpensive as is. You might as well buy the name companies that are made to last, okay? So hopefully this has been helpful, and tell your friends, smash that like button, please. Ring the bell, and I'll have more door and lock tips coming your way. Thank you.